how it would change the life of those people around you and people like yourself on the border if there were a return to a hard border. Just describe to us what it's like to live on the border at the moment. You know, how many times a week do you cross that border and how easy is it?
Well, where I live, actually, it's like a postage stamp on an envelope. So I could, only 45 degrees of my movement then could be in the north, because the rest would, that other 320 degrees really is all around me. I cross that border maybe anywhere from 5 to 15 times, 20 times a day. You know, I go there for, it's my local post office. It's my place where I get fuel. It's a place where we get our groceries. It's a place where we socialise. We have, I have neighbours across the river, which maybe if I had to go through the north to see them, it would be 5 or 6 miles, whereas only a mile and a half over the border. So, yeah, that border, what it's like, that you've got to understand that 20 years ago, when this border came down, when all the customs came down, all my life I've been able to travel as I liked around this island. But when you were stopped by customs officers, by army, by policemen, and during the Troubles here, that border and the insignificance of that border as it stands today and the invisibility of it is just, the freedom of it is phenomenal, and the cohesion of the people now on both sides it is really something that cannot take a step backwards.
What do you make of the technological solutions, in inverted commas, that Brexiteers like Boris Johnson have been putting forward? The idea that perhaps cameras could be on these borders rather than having border enforcement agents at the border. Do you think that could be workable?
Well, sure, I could be travelling with you, and you and I could go through in a car or a lorry and a camera on it, and we know that the vehicle is travelling and it's travelled through, but we don't know what's in that vehicle or who's in it particularly either. So no, the technology is not there.
Absolutely. Sorry, do go ahead.
Yeah, that's proven all over the world that technology is not there. Ask anybody on the European border on the east of you there, and they will tell you you must have a physical presence to have a proper border check. How do you know what's on a lorry? Are you content to trust a piece of black and white paper?
I mean, if we have a return then to agents, as you say, at the border, that does look a little bit more like an Ireland of the pre-70s, of the pre-60s. Last week we saw a bomb attack in London, Derry. Are you concerned that the ramifications of the Brexit debate are opening up old wounds that haven't been seen since the Troubles?
Of course, I've been concerned about that the minute the referendum was announced. And when you live on the border here, you live at the cold face, really. We lived at the cold face of the Troubles, and we live on the cold face of Brexit. And for whatever reasons, bringing back a hard border leaves the north of Ireland in a vacuum. And you are playing into the hands of, once you create a vacuum, you pull in all sorts of detritus, all sorts of people who want to exploit difference, and breakfast means difference, let me assure you. So of course it's been dangerous. The peace process has been fragile all along, and still will be. And it certainly doesn't need this divisive Brexit to create any catalyst to going back to civil.
And Mr. Sharon, I just want to ask you one very quick last question. I know many politicians have been scratching their heads to find this one, so I'm not expecting you to be able to necessarily come up with an immediate answer. But assuming that the Brexit vote has to be delivered on, the Brexit result of the Brexit referendum has to be delivered on, do you see a solution that works for Ireland?
The backstop works. 95% of the businesses in Northern Ireland were happy with the withdrawal agreement that was on the table a week ago. And you ask 70% of the citizens or more, and they were happy to accept the backstop. So the backstop is the agreement as far as Northern Ireland's concerned. That's the one that works, and no one wants to see interfered with, and nobody wants to see the Good Friday Agreement interfered with.